Are there any ambitions to sort of give a boost to the Indian labels on the platform as well?
Absolutely. As I said, I mean, our job is to respond and provide Indian consumers with everything that they seek, right? So international brands is one part of it, the Gen Z brands, and the edgy style fashion is one aspect of it. But other aspects of it are as important, whether they are D2C brands, domestic brands, very important. In terms of just the categories within fashion, for example, workwear, right? Ever since offices have opened up, we've seen amazing growth in workwear, but now there is a casualization of workwear that's come through, and at least for us in the last 1 year we've seen 100% plus growth there. So that happens. One trend that has continued to kind of flow through over the last couple of years is athleisure. That continues to be strong. But as these happen, much more on Indian wear and ethnics continues to also propel the category in the industry forward. In our platform, for example, lehengas saw a 60% growth year on year last year. So what you are seeing is people across their different need states uh, finding the ability to embrace and be stylish, and I think that is what we are seeing play out.
When we're speaking of e-commerce and digital, right now the hot topic, one of the hot topics is ONDC, right? Do you have any plans on that front, and how do you think ONDC is going to impact the business?
Yeah. I think, to be honest, from everything that I understand, the framework of that is still being built, and it's really, really early days for something like that. So difficult for me to comment at this point in time.
In the past, Myntra has heavily invested in AI and ML driven, initiatives to enhance shopping and customer experience. What are sort of the specific technologies Myntra is deploying now, and how is the CX playing like for the brand?
It's a very interesting question because for us as a tech first platform, everything that we do is to enhance the customer experience, right? When they come on to the app, are they able to easily navigate, uh, both browse and find and seek what they need, right? And that gets enabled through a lot of these tech initiatives, or if I could call it that. A couple of examples that I spoke about, which is the most important one online, is this the right size and fit for me? And we have a size and fit recommendation algorithm in place that allows us to showcase that if someone likes a specific piece of clothing, recommend the size and fit that would be right for them basis their previous history. So we have that level of kind of understanding as they are going through the platform. And let's assume they come across something or one of our social commerce pieces, and the model there is wearing a shirt that is of interest to them. As they are seeing that shirt, uh, again, what we have enabled is, and they like what the model is wearing overall, they can also not only look at the shirt but also look at the jeans or the trouser that the model is wearing and kind of complete the whole look itself. So those are small pieces that we are enabling to make sure that the shopping experience is easier. On the beauty side, I think the most interesting one that we have there is the skin analyzer, which again, as a process, it's very simple. You take a selfie, and what the program that we have, it kind of reads your skin type, and it gives you a recommendation basis that both for products that you want, and of course, I think for us the beauty of it will be to see how more and more consumers are buying into what gets recommended because it's useful for them and they come back for it. That part of it. Product finder is another piece in within beauty, which is when you have so many shades, both on the skin type perspective and on the supply side perspective. How do you match the two is something that can daunt a consumer. But product finder enables you to make choices, and the algorithm throws up what would be most suitable for you.
The brand recently launched a campaign with Ranveer, Kiara, Vijay Deverakonda, names from the fraternity of the film industry. But also, Myntra goes heavy with creators, right? It just had its creator fest as well last year, right? Uh, how do you strike that fine balance between your celebrity based messaging versus your creator based messaging, and how do you decide the target audience for them, each of them?
The way we do it is to actually zoom back to consumer cohorts. And our starting point is what is important for that consumer cohort, and then we decode it. So I don't think we have a celebrity strategy or an influencer strategy. What we have is a consumer cohort strategy. And if that consumer cohort requires a celebrity, that's kind of how we play it. The interesting part about fashion, again, something which I've learned in the recent few months, is because of the way fashion is as and in terms of the benefit it provides as a sense of identity to yourself, it is a category that draws itself from a lot of inspiration. And when you ask people how they make their fashion choices, a very strong part of it comes from what are the fashion choices and the brands that my favorite celebrity is associated with. That connect that the fashion industry has with celebrities is very, very strong for certain consumer cohorts, and that's why we ended up using the celebrities that we did. The same thing if you ask Gen Z, for them, the same piece would be the social media influencers that I follow, what are the brands that they are associated with. And that's where the second part of it flows through. So yes, there is a certain sense of, for each cohort, we make choices for what's important. Sometimes it's celebrity based, sometimes it's social media influencer based. And I am sure over time there will be a mix and match between the two.
What are the sort of ambitions Myntra is having with the offline retail space and not just online?
Got it. I mean, again, if I take a consumer perspective to that question, it is about where am I able to find the products that I want with the kind of help that I seek to find them, right? Which loosely speaking, how we translate it on our app, for example, is the assisted shopping pieces that I spoke about. How can we make discovery customizable to each person? So when you log into the app versus me logging into the app, we see the kind of products and styles that we seek. And when we choose to buy them, are there tech enabled features that allow me to buy them smoothly at a click without me having to double guess things. So those product features that I spoke about earlier all kind of tie into this perspective. So for us, quite honestly, the focus is on helping drive demand more and more to our online presence and our app, and kind of making converting that demand into actual business.
What, as a marketer, do you think are the future trends in fashion that you see, and how do you, as a brand, plan to tap onto those trends and make the best out of them?
Yeah. I think the way fashion works is it's an always on trend change that happens, right? And I think that's the pace of the industry. And I think it's a very exciting one. As I spoke about very recently, we've seen workwear, we've seen ethnic, we've seen athleisure really go strong. Then you have a cohort like the Gen Zs who come in, and for them, they want style changes month on month. They want edgy fashion, but they want it at value pricing. They want to be in trend with what's happening around the world at the same point in time. So for us, this level of continuous change and agility is what the fashion industry is about. I don't think it will ever be about putting a stake in the ground and being about one thing. That's the beauty of this category. That's the challenge of this category and the opportunity in the category. And I think that's where you will see us uh, going more and more in enabling Indians to always look their stylish best.
Wonderful. I think that was a great chat, Sundar, and I think we decoded quite a bit of fashion here and the marketing that goes into this space. So thank you so much for all the insights, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for chatting with us, Sohini, and I look forward to you and all the viewers coming and shopping on Myntra.